Want to know why? Ask how. Howard the Humongous. Okay, tonight's exciting episode. Conservatives have manufactured a new myth about Democrats and liberals, and it is nasty. More than just nasty, it is delusional and dangerous. Remember the Nunes memo? The memo that Congressman Devin Nunes put out to back up Donald Trump's crazy view of the Russian investigation? Devin Nunes established his bias about the topic in 2016 when he called the investigation of Russia's intrusion into the American presidential election a witch hunt. Then, in March 2017, Nunes claimed he met with a source who told him that intelligence agencies had been spying on members of Trump's campaign team. Yes, American intelligence agencies spying on Trump's campaign team. And that those agencies had been spreading the information they got through the intelligence community and beyond. Where did Nunes meet with his so-called source? On the grounds of the White House, which means that his source was probably one of Donald Trump's shills, a shill telling one of Donald Trump's imaginary tales. If you watch CNN or MSNBC, you probably think the Nunes memo is dead, forgotten. It's no longer a major topic of discussion, but that's wrong. It's being discussed every night on Fox TV. Laura Ingraham can't leave it alone. And Laura Ingraham is one of Fox TV's stars with an hour-long 10 p.m. show of her own. Why does Ingraham host one panel discussion after another on the Nunes memo? Because the Nunes memo is not what it's reported to be on CNN and MSNBC. It's not just controversial. The Nunes memo says that the FBI and the Department of Justice have been hijacked by renegade Democrats, hijacked by Democratic Party extremists. The Nunes memo alleges that key Justice Department and FBI figures bugged the Trump campaign, and that these figures were ideologically committed to destroying Donald Trump's chances to be president. Says the Nunes memo, the Justice Department and FBI figures involved were not professionals suspending judgment to fulfill their oaths of defending the Constitution of the United States. Far from it. They were partisan zealots out to torpedo a perfectly legitimate presidential candidate, poor Donald Trump. What's the proof? What is the so-called fact that Laura Ingraham devotes huge amounts of her show to every night? Remember another document, the Steele dossier. The Steele dossier was that 35-page report from a former British MI6 Russia expert on how the Russians had spent 6 years cultivating Donald Trump as an asset, an unwitting asset. The Steele memo was paid for by the Hillary Clinton campaign. Therefore, conservatives like Ingraham reason its information is false. But that's just part of Ingraham's nightly complaint. She says that the Steele memo was the basis for the FISA court orders to survey Carter Page. The FISA court is the court that an intelligence agency has to go through if it wants to surveil an American citizen for national security purposes. Remember when candidate Donald Trump was accused of knowing nothing about foreign affairs and having no foreign affairs experts on his staff? He put together a meeting in which he and Jeff Sessions sat at the opposite ends of a big conference table. That conference table was filled with people. And Trump had the TV cameras in to show these people off. These, Trump said, were his foreign affairs experts. One of those experts was Carter Page. Carter Page was also one of the 5 people Donald Trump listed in an interview with the Washington Post when he was challenged to reveal whether he had any foreign affairs experts or not. Ingraham says that because the Steele memo was put together for Hillary Clinton, it is a politically biased document. Hence, it should not be used in a FISA court. By the way, the FBI issued a once-in-a-lifetime complaint about the Nunes memo. Said the FBI, the Nunes memo was biased, omitted key facts, and revealed intelligence secrets. Meanwhile, there's been another memo released February 24th by the Democrats. It got almost no publicity. It points out that the Steele memo was not the only document used, even the primary document used, to obtain FISA court warrants on Carter Page. Far from it. Our intelligence service had picked up a conversation with a Russian agent talking about Carter Page. Here's what our intelligence folks heard from the lips of Victor Podobny. His name is impossible to pronounce. Podobny. Carter Page, quote, wants to meet when he gets back. I think he is an idiot and forgot who I am. Plus, he writes to me in Russian to practice the language. That's the close of the quote from the Russian agent. This is a conversation in which Russian spy masters are discussing the use of Carter Page for Russian ends. Yet Laura Ingraham says night after night that the Steele dossier is the only evidence used to convince a FISA court to let our intelligence folks spy on Carter Page. And Ingraham implies that our intelligence services have been hijacked by a bunch of Democratic extremists who bugged Page in order to destroy the Trump campaign. All of this means two things. One is that Laura Ingraham is lying every single night. And her lies are being believed by a considerable number of conservatives and Trump supporters who want to believe that Trump is a super-duper president. Second, it means that folks like Ingraham do not want to find out whether the information in the Steele dossier is true or not. And finding that out is vital. Why? Because the man who wrote that dossier, Christopher Steele, has been a professional spy specializing in Russia. He ran MI6's Russia desk. He has contacts inside of Vladimir Putin's Kremlin. And if you read the Steele memo, it is extremely credible. Its claims follow precisely the pattern of foreign infiltration outlined in the Center for Strategic and International Studies book, The Kremlin Playbook. Meanwhile, Ann Coulter is running around shouting that every Democrat is a traitor. And Wayne LaPierre, the head of the National Rifle Association, told the conservatives gathered at the Conservative Political Action Conference in Washington in late February that Democrats are all European-style socialists who want to take over America, revoke the Constitution, and take away your liberties. Look, I'm a Democrat with liberal leanings, and I resent these lies tremendously. But in the age of Donald Trump, lies are the new truth. And that is something that you and I have to change. This is Howard the Humongous speaking to you from the future, that it's your job and my job to make, or want to know why, ask how. And now for that ridiculous hidden off button. I think I've got it.